Hello and welcome to my first video as the world goes around. This is my first YouTube video and I'm very excited and happy for it. The reason I came about making my first video is because of the encouragement from you. On my social media, Facebook and TikTok, there has been many who have been encouraging me. I have been going on demonstrations since the 7th of October for Palestine. I have been sharing a lot on Facebook and TikTok also. With that happening, people have been like coming to me and asking me, so what can we do for Palestine? And it feels good. I am quite loud and I kind of put forward what I want to say. Also, I think the fact that I ran for council election last year, people kind of identify me as someone who does put her voice forward or someone that can represent them. So I'm very happy to feel that I can be your voice. So first of all, it is vital to establish where the Israelites came from, the Israeli refugees. As it happens, 750 BC, which is before Christ, there was an Israel where there is an Israel now. And so the Israelites used to live there then. But unfortunately, Israel has been victimized a good number of times by different civilizations from Egyptian time and even before that, because you could see 750 BC, that's 750 years before Christ. So the Israeli population have been victimized, and with being victimized and being targeted, they were dispersed from Israel. So they were dispersed from that part of land where they used to live. As they were dispersed, they were in Europe. So they were like in America, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Germany. So they were, because of the victimization, they were dispersed and they were living in Europe. And then you had the World War II happening. So in World War II, what happened was, I don't know, for some reason someone told me we're not allowed to say Hitler. So I'm only going to say it once, but I'm going to refer to him as Mustache Man. So before World War II happened, and it was Hitler, Mustache Man, that started the World War II, he demonized the people of Israel, the Jewish refugees that were dispersed into Europe, and he targeted them. And the reason for him targeting the Israelites, apparently there was two reasons when I was digging about, and I found was one, that he applied for the University of Vienna for fine arts and he was rejected. And he was rejected, as he was rejected, he felt that the administration was filled with Jewish people, that it was the Jewish people that didn't accept him, and because of that he didn't attain his seat in university. Also around that time his mother fell ill. Mustache Man's mother fell ill and she had cancer, and the doctor treating her was also a Jewish person. So you had multiple reasons as to why he started demonizing the Jewish people. It is absolutely vital to remember why people demonize and what those factors are, and then they start attacking those certain culture peoples, those certain religious people, that certain group. So Hitler started to take the population of the Jewish community, and as we all know, he killed 6 million people. So you could feel as to why the Jewish people feel that they have always been hurt and they have always been targeted. After the World War and 6 million people were killed, then the British dude, he decided to send the remaining refugees to Palestine. So at the time, it became Palestine. So it was the people of Israel were dispersed from Israel a millennium ago, so many hundred of years ago. So there have been a small percentage of Jewish Palestinian from beginning and to now, but mainly they were dispersed. So after the World War, the British Empire decided to send them back to Palestine. They had arrived with just a passport, and it said, with the order of the British government, such a body can stay in Palestine as a refugee. So they came to Palestine as refugees. So the people of Israel from 750 BC came back to Palestine as refugees. So that was their status. So at that moment, you had the indigenous people of Palestine still living there. So the Palestinian people were not dispersed. They were there from the beginning, and they've been living there from Ottoman time and so forth. So if you were to take a blood test of the indigenous people, which is the Palestinian people, you will see that you could relate them back to the great-grandfather, or you could even go and find like the great-grandfather's grave, because that's where they were, and that's where they were living. So we all could be traced back to where we came from. So there's two factors there. So one, you have the Israelites that were dispersed. It wasn't their fault. They were targeted by many civilizations, and because of that, they were dispersed. And then after World War II, they came back to Palestine. But the indigenous people were there. So do you actually have the right to kill your way through to make space for yourself? So that's one of the questions. Also, from a religious point of view, the Israeli people, if they go by being the chosen people, does any religion allow you to kill and make space for yourself? It goes against the Torah. In the Torah, it says you must not kill, you must not thieve, and you must not lie. But all that has been happening from the point of view of the Israelis coming back to Palestine, and the Palestinian people have had to give over their land, and never mind their land. At this point in time, we have more than 21,000 people dead, only because the Israelites feel like they are the chosen one and they have a right to live there. So if the Israeli people, even at the present moment, they stopped the killing and started peace talks, as a human being, I wouldn't have any dislike for the Zionist state. You know, from Stone Age to now, why is it necessary that war has to be the way forward? The world is large enough, and in all honesty, the Lord has given us so much land and so much resources. It is an absolute shame that from Stone Age till now, we've not changed our ways. It's 2004 now, and you have this happening to the level of where Israel had stopped openly the food, the water, the electricity for the Palestinian people. Yesterday, I saw David Cameron give a talk on the present situation, and he said that the water has not been put back, restored, which means from the 7th of October, when it was switched off, the water has not been given. So therefore, how could Israel is trying to show that they are the golden people, they are the chosen people by the Lord. I don't have a problem with that if they feel that way, but I would like to think that with a responsibility, with a position, you have lots of responsibility. But here, they have gone far beyond that. You have Netanyahu calling the Palestinian people Amalek. That they are the children of light, and the children of Israel, Palestine are in the dark. So it's just showing dehumanization as to what Mustache Man did. So on reflection, if the Israeli people were to reflect on their past and how they were victimized, it is an absolute shame that the Holocaust survivors are treating the people of Palestine in the way they are. You know, we cannot get adequate food, adequate electricity, adequate everything. There have been reports that whatever is going into Palestine is not sufficient. So we need this war to stop, a ceasefire to happen, and we need to be humans, and we need to consciously desire peace for one another. After all this, what I find even more devastating is how America is helping and aiding Israel. There could only be two reasons for this, because America itself is on the blood of the Red Indians. There was no America. They annihilated the Red Indians, and now there is an America. So only people that are used to this kind of a behavior will find it normal that the Americans haven't stopped the Israelis from doing so, from annihilating the Palestinian and grabbing more and more land. We can see and hear the reports that they are grabbing more and more land, even though they are an occupying nation, the Israelis. Also, the second thing is that in American politics, you have the lobbyist group of Jewish people from the Zionist state that lobby the Zionist state. So that isn't good at all. That is corruption. America is a first world country, and it's the superpower. There should be no corruption there whatsoever. But instead, what happens is America, a democratic country, it shows it is, but yet does it behave in that way? Against the whole United Nations, they didn't agree to a ceasefire, and you have the Statue of Liberty in America. What to show that it became liberated on the killing of the Red Indians. That is what America stands for. That is the past of the Americans. Where I went to a friend, she came from Pakistan. She didn't know that America has been built on the Red Indians' blood. So yeah, we need to go and research and find out why it is the way it is, and but it doesn't need to remain this way. And finally, what I want to ask you all is that, how are you feeling? 21,000 people killed, and we have seen so much onslaught. The video on when the people, the ambulance got attacked in Palestine, that just shocked me to the core. And what I want to say to you, from childhood, we've been told, if someone hits you, it's illegal. We call 999 for the police to come and help us out. Alhamdulillah, I've never had a violent incident. So we consider ourselves to be modern in that way. But yet, in Palestine, 21,000 people got killed. And that, I'm sure I felt so horrible about it. And that is why I'm asking you, how are you doing? And the reason I would like to call this video As the World Goes Around is because of that. It's because, weird things happen. 21,000 people have been killed. A ceasefire still hasn't happened. Adequate humanitarian aid hasn't gone in. Whereas if we had a natural disaster, all the countries would go in and help out as much as possible, which is what should happen. And that is what I'm trying to say, that if we cannot go above land grab, murder and war, how are we going to go above poverty? And I would like to say to all of you, I know it's been really, really horrible, and it's been really, really immoral behavior that we have been viewing, but we must carry on, because we did hear about how Starbucks was affected by less than $12 billion profit loss. Also, recently, McDonald's has also announced that it has affected them. So we must carry on, and we must be each other's help. Even if we do not have the superpowers helping us, we must all bear together and help each other out and be each other's support. finally, I want to thank South Africa for being the bravest, for taking this to court. Regardless of the outcome of the court proceeding, I would like to say, Africa, thank you so much for showing courage, for showing what should be happening. And I want all of you to keep it going until the next video. Bye, assalamu alaikum, and take care, and be help to one another.